My parents did die, but I'm pretty sure I'm not autistic, because once someone gave me a Rubik's Cube and I put it straight in the fucking bin. I think that is the test. No, it's called Mortality, but it's a positive show, I think, and I want to tell you some of the things I've learned and what it's like to be me at this age, and because I'm getting old now. See that silence for the first year. Up until this year, I go, I'm getting old. People go, you're not old. Now they go, go on. Like that. It's like, in fact, they make it worse. They say things like, oh, yeah, but the good thing about getting old is you don't care what people think about you. Well, you should care a bit, because caring what people think about you is what stops you walking around with shit down your trousers. Oh, look at Grandad. Look, he doesn't care what people think about him. No, he's wanking at a wedding. He doesn't, no. But as I say, it's a positive show, because it's not all doom and gloom, getting older. There's good and bad to getting old. There really is. There's good and bad to getting old. For example, yes, there's more chance now of me having a heart attack, having a stroke, getting cancer, but much less chance now of me ever being raped in prison. Yeah. So when I was a young man, I thought, fuck, I can never go to jail, not with this cute ass, right? But now, I'd be pretty confident I'd be left alone. You know, like, I'd go down the corridor, my first day, with a little towel, just whistle along, right? They'd all come to the bars and go, ooh. You know what I mean? I'd spend as much time as I wanted in the shower. No one's even looking, not a sniff, nothing. Right? The big danger for me these days, bending over in a prison shower, would be my back going, right? And just sort of crumple into the floor and have to be helped to my bunk by two big gay rapists. And they just put me down naked and leave. And I go, lads, before you go, I've done my shouldering. Can you little tug? Right? And they go, nah. I go, what do you mean, no? You're literally gay rapists. They go, we're not monsters. I'd also be a bit more confident these days going to jail, because I've got a bit of cash. I reckon I could buy my way out of danger. Do you know what I mean? Like the first day I'd go, right, who's in charge? Who's Mr. Big? And they go, Chopper Harris, D-Wing. Right? I go, so I'll go and see Chopper, and I go, right. I said, right, I'm in for a year. There's £1 million waiting for you if you make sure no one beats me up, steals my food, no one so much as fingers me. I've never said that before. Chopper would be like, there's no foreplay in jail, mate. This is my most honest and confessional show so far. Not in a Edinburgh Fringe type way. I mean, oh, my parents died, so I went all autistic. None of that shit, right? My parents did die, but I'm pretty sure I'm not autistic, because once someone gave me a Rubik's Cube and I put it straight in the fucking bin. I think that is the test. No, it's called Mortality, but it's a positive show, I think, and I want to tell you some of the things I've learned and what it's like to be me at this age, and because I'm getting old now. See that silence for the first year. Up until this year, I go, I'm getting old. People go, you're not old. Now they go, go on. Like that. It's like, in fact, they make it worse. They say things like, oh, yeah, but the good thing about getting old is you don't care what people think about you. Well, you should care a bit, because caring what people think about you is what stops you walking around with shit down your trousers. Oh, look at Grandad. Look, he doesn't care what people think about him. No, he's wanking at a wedding. He doesn't, no. But as I say, it's a positive show, because it's not all doom and gloom, getting older. There's good and bad to getting old. There really is. There's good and bad to getting old. For example, yes, there's more chance now of me having a heart attack, having a stroke, getting cancer, but much less chance now of me ever being raped in prison. Yeah. So when I was a young man, I thought, fuck, I can never go to jail, not with this cute ass, right? But now, I'd be pretty confident I'd be left alone. You know, like, I'd go down the corridor, my first day, with a little towel, just whistle along, right? They'd all come to the bars and go, ooh. You know what I mean? I'd spend as much time as I wanted in the shower. No one's even looking, not a sniff, nothing. Right? The big danger for me these days, bending over in a prison shower, would be my back going, right? And just sort of crumple into the floor and have to be helped to my bunk by two big gay rapists. And they just put me down naked and leave. And I go, lads, before you go, I've done my shouldering. Can you little tug? Right? And they go, nah. I go, what do you mean, no? You're literally gay rapists. They go, we're not monsters. But we all want respect, right? We all want respect, and we all want to raise our status in society. We can't help that. That's in our evolution. That's groups elected from when gossip used to control the tribes, right? And there's still two ways you can raise your status in society. One, be competent at something, like, oh, he's a good hunter, go with him, he's good for the tribe. The other way you can raise your status is have virtue, like, oh, he's not a great hunter, but he's wise or kind or whatever, you know. And then with the advent of social media, people suddenly discovered they could just say they were virtuous, no evidence, no proof, just loads of flags in their bio, right? And they would raise their status by bringing other people down, catching other people, like, oh, look what he said. Oh, he's not as virtuous as me. Look how good I am. Look how bad. And that's where the term virtue signalling comes from, right? And I hate it when they bring their kids into it. You can believe what you want, have opinions what you want, vote how you want, but go on a march, great. But when I see a 5-year-old holding a placard, he doesn't know what that says. That's the adult, you know. Like I saw someone tweet this once. Someone tweeted, my 4-year-old just looked up at me and said, Mummy, why does Rishi Sunak hate poor people? Never fucking happened, right? But the most annoying thing about virtue signalling is it's people being smug about having the morality of the age. You're what you're like because of where you are and when you are. Like, it's not brave of me to be an atheist in this country, in this year. It would have been brave 200 years ago, or mental. And it'll be brave in some other countries, or mental, right? But people say things like, oh, I'm anti-racist. Yeah, well done. We all are. We know that's the way to be now, but it wouldn't have always been. Well, if you'd have been born in a different place or time, maybe you wouldn't. They go, no, I'd been anti-racist whenever I was born. Well, people say things like, they go, oh yeah, I'd have definitely hidden Anne Frank. Would you? Would you? Anne Frank comes to your door in the war, right? You open it, right? There's Nazis everywhere, right? She goes, can I hide in here? You go, what up? Just face palmed Anne Frank, like that. Whoa, wait. What happens if they find you? They murder me and you. Go next door. They've got a lovely big attic, they've got a typewriter, you're gonna... But I'm anti-racist, of course I am. But I'm willing to admit that if I'd have been born 300 years ago and I was white and wealthy, I'd have probably have owned slaves. Because I'd been nice to them, so shut up, right? I'd be the best slave owner you've ever fucking... No, I'd dress mine well, I'd dress my slave... Yeah, I would. I'd dress mine in little suits, right? I'd go throw those dungarees away, put a little suit on it. All the other slaves look at it, I go, you fuck... And I go, right, let's go to the pub, boys, right? And all the white people go, you can't take your slaves to the pub. I go, fuck you, fascist. They're my slaves, I'll do what the fuck I want with them. We go in the pub, the barman will go, you can't bring them in here. I go, fuck, we're going to the saloon bar as well. We got little suits on it. You look good in your suits, boys. Wear socks. We wear socks. I go, I'm buying the drinks, put your money away. You haven't got any money, but you know what I mean? And then you're just having a laugh, teasing each other, just bants. Like, if one of them got a bit too familiar, I would have to punish him, just to keep the status quo. If he called me gammon or something, which is the only racial slur allowed now, isn't it? That's fine. You can call a white person a gammon. It's fine for some reason. You can even be ageist. You go, you fucking old gammon, and it's totally acceptable for some reason. But I'm going to reclaim the word. You know, like black people have reclaimed the N-word, I'm going to reclaim the word gammon. So I'm going to be in Carluccio's in Hampstead, right? With all my white friends, and we'd just be hanging going, how you doing, McGammon? Right? And if our black friend, Rupert, I said it was Hampstead, if Rupert came in and went, McGammon, I go, you don't fucking use that word. My point is, morality evolves. It moves with the times like everything else. Just think of that. In a few generations, we've gone from owning slaves, being legal and respectable in the eyes of God, to a racist being the lowest of the low, isn't he? A racist is the worst person in society these days. Actually, a paedophile is the worst. Goes paedophile, then racist. I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So I gave a fake answer, right? He said, so what have you got planned for your funeral? And I went, I want to be fed to the lions at London Zoo. He went, really? I went, yeah. I want the zookeeper to take up my big, fat, dead, naked, bloated body in a wheelbarrow, right? Just dump it in the lion's den, doof, like that. Loads of tourists going, is that the bloke from The Office? Like that, right? And then two big lions come out and just start eating me. And lions, they start with the soft bits of the body to get inside to the rib cage. So they'd probably get a testicle each, wouldn't they? Because that'd be the easiest of it. By then, my testicles would be about a yard apart, so they'd be easy. They just start eating towards me. Like Lady and the Tramp, really romantic. So I said that as a joke, but he totally believed me. So much so that when he was writing up the article, he called London Zoo and asked them if that would be allowed, and they said, no, of course not, right? So when the article came out, the headline was, London Zoo refused Ricky's request to be fed to lions. Like I'm a fucking psychopath. My point is, you can't worry about what happens after you die. Don't live your life, let someone else worry about it. You're dead, you've done your bit, right? I know some people who really are stressed about what happens after they die, some religious people, and they believe in heaven and hell and all that. So now they're getting a bit, have I been good enough? I mean, great, heaven's great, but hell, oh my God, what if I go to hell? And I go, there's no hell. It's made up to frighten kids. Like, my favourite horror film of all time is still the original Exorcist, right? First time I saw it on VHS, right? I was blown away. I watched it again straight away. I loved it, right? And there's a bit in that that's meant to be the really poignant bit. And I laughed the first time I saw it because it was the idea of the devil being this crass and childish. You know the bit. So the little girl's possessed by the devil and they're doing an exorcism and they're throwing holy water on it. She's hissing, right? They're going, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. And at one point, the devil makes the little girl turn her head round and he makes her say, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Right? And the bloke, she said, he's devastated. He's like, because he's thinking, oh, that's the real devil. So he knows, so it's true, my poor mother sucking cocks in hell, right? If scientists actually found the devil, I was wrong. There is they found the devil, they tested him, it was peer-reviewed, it won the Nobel Prize for fucking everything, because it'd be the greatest discovery of all time, right? And I'd look at the science, I'd be mind-blown, but I'd go, well, you've got to follow the science. So, I believe in the devil. I wouldn't even be belief, it would be knowledge. I'd want to meet him. If the devil actually existed, I'd want to see it for my... as long as I was safe. I don't know what makes you safe from the devil. But if he existed, we'd find out, wouldn't we? Like, vampires live forever, but now we know a bit of garlic really fucks them up. So we discover something, like if you put a devil in a cage with a sprig of parsley on top, he's weak or something, right? And I'd meet the devil, right? And I go for an order, and I go, he'd be there. I go, you the devil? He'd go, yeah, right? And then he tried to hurt my feelings. And that was his best shot. And he went, Rick, I go, what? He goes, your mother sucks cocks in hell. I go, I don't care. One, she's dead. Two, she was heterosexual. Three, she never had her teeth in towards the end. So, no. But it's hell. Think of all the terrible things that could be happening to her. Being raped by red hot pokers, rats eating her eyes. My mum gets cock duty. Go on, girl. That has got to be one of the better jobs in hell. Terrible job on earth. I've never sucked a cock in my life. I never will. But if I died and I'm in hell, right? Tortured from eternity, I'd see the first cock, I'd go, I'm on this. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'd be looking around seeing people skinned alive. I'd chow down. I'd be looking over at the big man going, I'm doing a great job here, leave me on this. And there's the devil with a clipboard looking a bit confused. No one's ever gone straight for the cock, but he goes, okay, carry on. I go, what if he then went, I mean, I did have you down for ironing. I go, fuck. I could have been ironing. Who's getting their cock sucked in hell? That's what I would. Because we're there for punishment, and that's a little treat. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'd be there, right, thinking, feeling a bit smug, right, and I'm thinking, oh, this is great. Not great, but, you know, I'd be... But the devil's a trickster, isn't he? One day I'd go, I wonder whose cock this is. And I look up, oh, it's fucking Hitler. I'm fucking sucking Hitler's cock. How is this all right to do this in public? Because if I followed one of you home tonight and I shouted through your letterbox, sucking fucking Hitler's cock in hell, you call the police. But you've paid to hear me say this shit. Fuck you down. Oh. Well, that's nearly it for me, but I've just, I said earlier, I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes, and that is absolutely true, but I've just remembered a joke that I stopped myself, because I bottled it a bit, and I think I was being overcautious. I want to share it with you, right? So, I got the chance to introduce Jason Momoa. Do you know who Jason Momoa is? Yeah, right? So I thought the meta joke would be to show my hypocrisy and my cowardice. Like, I'm okay to slag off actors, who's scared of actors, but when it comes to a big dude, right, I'm not so brave. So I was going to go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter, because he's got a cock like a baby's arm, right? And I told my mate I was going to do that, and my mate went, do you think people think that's racist? I went, why is it racist? He went, well, because he's a person of colour. And I went, no, but it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact that he's so big that he'd probably have a cock like a baby's arm, right? So I didn't do it. And I had a great follow-up as well. I'll tell you the whole thing. This is the whole thing. This is what I was going to do, right? Right. So I go out and go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter, because he's got a cock like a baby's arm. Unlike Peter Dinklage, who's got an arm like a baby's cock. It's great to hear this sort of laughter again, because you probably don't notice it as much as comedians, but we've had a really weird 10 years where we're really second-guessing, going, is that okay? I don't know what people could find anything offensive, but we pushed back and we won, so fuck them. Until the next time. They haven't gone away, they're just licking their wounds. They'll be back with something madder. But remember who it is next time, right? It's always like these sort of educated, middle-class, privileged, elitist sort of people telling ordinary working-class people what they can and can't do and say and laugh, not realising how important comedy is to ordinary people. Like when I was a kid growing up in Reading with nothing, right? Humour was like a lifesaver. It was like a superpower, right? Not a real one like flight, but you know what I mean? It's like, you ask anyone their superpower, I reckon 7 out of 10 will say flight, and 3 will go super strength or something, right? Which is great. If you're a superhero, flying around, being super strong, great. But sooner or later, a super villain will go, look at that cunt. I'm gonna get him and murder him, right? My superpower, they wouldn't even know it was me. They wouldn't even know there was a superpower being used. And it would get you out of any situation. My superpower would be the ability to make anyone instantly shit themselves. Think of it. You're getting mugged, and I point, they go, give me your wallet. You just go, they go, fuck. Oh, fuck. Game over. It's game over. That's another thing I'm very proud of. I can honestly say, in almost 64 years, I have never shat myself once. So, no, don't... No. No! Right. Yeah. Oh, why do you like London so much, Rick? Because you get a round of applause for not shitting yourself. Right. But that's the next phase now. I reckon it's the next 10 years that I will. But as of now, my arsehole has never let me down. Very underrated, the human arsehole. Everyone goes, oh, the human brain, the greatest computer known to man. All the human liver can regenerate itself. Your arsehole is working 24/7. Even when you're asleep, it's like that. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. Nope. You're not coming out. And you're not coming in. Because it's like a sewer in there, isn't it? But you've got a lovely little manhole cover. Think of that in real life. Walking along a pavement, it's lovely pavement. If that burst, and you know what's in a sewer, don't you? Piss and shit and cum and dead goldfish, fetuses. In China, just the girl ones. Relax. I'm at that age now as well, because I'm in entertainment. People say, oh, you can have a facelift. I go, no. Have you seen facelifts? They're still just that. Like that. You know what I mean? You go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, do you want to look old or Chinese? You know, it's like, nothing wrong with looking Chinese if you're Chinese. If you're not Chinese, it's a bit weird. It's offensive. Why is that allowed? You're not allowed to black up. Why can you do that? Maybe there are terms and conditions to make sure you're never that racist. Like the doctor goes, right, we've done the eyes, but never leave the house in a little lampshade, because... Oh, so childish. It's so childish. But I hope you agree it was a positive show. It wasn't about death, it was about life. And some people are so worried about dying, they forget to live. And some people are so scared to do something. Oh, no, that's dangerous, that's dangerous. All the most fun things are dangerous. Roads are dangerous. Alcohol is dangerous. Alcohol is a poison. I should know. I sell it. Dutch Barn. Right? So, yes. Right. Alcohol gives you brain disease, liver disease, kidney disease, heart disease, mental illness, but it does loosen you up at parties. So... think of all the babies born through alcohol, yeah. Many of them deformed if the mother carried on drinking. But the good thing about being born deformed is, you... Hear me out. The good thing about being born deformed is you can start drinking at a much younger age and no one gives you... Do you know what I mean? You see a normal kid drinking, you go, you little bastard. You see a deformed kid drinking, you go, yeah, go on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You're 8 or 9, you've had 27 painful operations, you've met Ollie Murs, have a drink, you know. Well, I prefer dogs, obviously. Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends, they guard us, they guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are like 1,000 times more sensitive than ours. So they sort of go, poor, you're well HIV. Fuck, you know. And you go, you can smell AIDS on someone. Yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night then, you fucking idiot? They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that. And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, right, dogs. And they all go, what? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do. Right. Okay, Labradors. Yeah? Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russells. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles, yeah? Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah, that's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks, yo. You're hunting lions. What? You're hunting lions. Fuck off. Yeah, you are. No, we're not. Lions? We get fucking mashed. Why can't the Rottweilers hunt lions? They're shaking babies. Good boy. Good boy. You shake that baby if you want. Good boy. Cheers. So yeah, this is my first new stand-up show for 7 years, if you don't count the Golden Globes. Which you shouldn't. The Golden Globes, very different. Oh God, different vibe. 200 million people watching around the world, and it's live, you know, big thrill. But with that many people watching, there comes a bit of stick. Everyone's different. Everyone's a blogger. Everyone goes, I was offended. Oh. Why? He said an horrible thing. We said loads of horrible things. Yeah, but that was a thing that I care about. And that's the thing about offence, isn't it? It's about feelings, and feelings are personal. I don't care about the so-called backlash, you know, comedian in hot water. Ooh, you know. But my girlfriend Jane, she does worry a bit, and she reads things. Oh, why are they? What have you said? Why? I go, don't worry about it. They're not coming to the house. Fuck them. So I wind her up. I pretend I'm going to say much worse things than I ever would. You know. Think of that. I have to make up worse jokes than I actually... just to scare my girlfriend. So when I'm doing the Golden Globes, we go out about a week before. It's in LA. We fly out, right? And I'm writing jokes as the ceremony approaches. And, you know, they release sort of more presenters. And I take my pick. I go, oh, yeah, I've got a good intro for them. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah. Mel Gibson. Yeah, I'll introduce him. Yes. And about 3 days before this last one, right, just to wind Jane up, I said, oh, I've got a good intro. She went, what? I said, Bill Cosby would make our next presenter sleep on the couch. Please welcome Helen Mirren. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. She went, you're not going to do it? I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Next day, I got her again. I said, is this too much then? I said, not even Bill Cosby carries enough tranquilizer to bring down this next magnificent beast. Please welcome Melissa McCarthy. I didn't do it. I'd never tell a joke like that. It's horrible. I was just doing it to annoy Jane. I'd never even think of that. So don't... Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, we're in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer. I didn't do it. So you're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist. So I'd never say that in public. So to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't... As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner. I'll just go, And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had. Became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. Right? So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlete. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big, but I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But like years ago, when, you know, she was a man, that was years ago, I'm saying, right, and she went to the doctor, right, and knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I'm saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone, do you know what so, like, come in, and he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went, oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lump. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? I thought, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name. Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason, I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, No, they're not my shot put stop. They're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar, isn't it? And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce should have went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. So I'm engaging these people, and I'm saying, but I had to say her old name because that gets me into the joke. I say, I've changed, not as much as Bruce Jenner, and then I do the actual joke. I went, no, this is my second crime. I say, she hasn't changed, right? She's always been a woman because she's always identified as a woman, and that means she's a woman. Fine, if that's the rules, you are what you feel. If you feel you're a woman, that makes you a woman. Cool. You know, I'm not one of these bigots that think having all that done is science going too far. You know? In fact, I don't think it's going far enough. Because I've always identified as a chimp, right? Well, I am a chimp. If I say I'm a chimp, I am a chimp, you know. Pre-op, but... and don't ever dead name me. Don't ever call me Ricky Gervais again. From now on, you call me Bobo. So, I'm going to have species realignment. I'm halfway there, to be honest. I'm sort of short with short legs and long arms. I sort of stoop like that. My back's getting hairier by the day. I've got fangs. I love nuts. Oh, I love nuts. And once, I was at the zoo, and I could tell people were looking at me, so I just started masturbating. So, I am a chimp, right? I am a chimp, if I say I'm a chimp. And so I've got to live as a chimp for a year, then have hormones, get me all nice and hairy. That'd be lovely, right? I'm going to stay a male chimp, so I can keep all that, right? A male heterosexual chimp, keep the same girlfriend. Jane will be happy. She loves me. She loves chimps, so, you know. And I reckon that's got to be easier for a man to turn into a chimp. We're so close. Than for a man to turn into a woman in many ways. You know what I mean? A bit of hair and a top lip like that, as opposed to your cock and balls ripped off and a hole gouged out into... No, I'm not a doctor, but that is the gist of it. I know which one I'd rather have done. And I'm not saying I think chimps are better than women. No way. Right? Any ladies here, right? I can't see you, but to me, every single one of you is equal to a chimp. So I'm gonna have all that done. So heavy that, right? I'll do all that. I'll do all the. I'll retain the ability to speak English, like in emergencies. If I'm talking to Jane, I'm going. She's going. What is it, Bobo? What is it, Bobo? You left the fucking oven on. There's a fire. What are you telling me that if Caitlyn Jenner was being chased by a wolf, right, and there was a big fence, but she had a long pole, she'd revert, she'd be over that fucking easy. So, all that done, all that, all that, doing all that, right? I'll be legally a chimp. I'll be properly chimped up, right? I'll be able to use chimp toilets and everything, right? And then I'll be walking along Hampstead High Street, holding Jane's hand. Come on, Bobo. Like that, right? We don't even hold hands now, so I don't know why she's suddenly all over me just because I'm a chimp, right? But we'll be all in love, maybe matching jumpers, something like that. Walking along, come on, Bobo, in love, just two guys, And then if a bigot in a white van slows down and goes, that's fucking disgusting, I just fling shit at him and run up a tree. And that's why that joke isn't transphobic, so... Cheers. As I said, I think this is my most honest and confessional show so far, so I want to talk about something I haven't talked about before, and that's to give you a glimpse behind the curtain of the Golden Globes, right? And, thank you. I last hosted the Golden Globes in 2020. It was the 5th time over a 10-year period, and I liked them more and more, and the last one was my favourite, because the world changed in that 10 years. You know, like the first time I hosted them in like 2010, the press of America They hated me. Right? Who was this annoying Brit insulting the most important people on the planet? By the last time I hosted, they were like, yeah, go on, fuck them. Fuck them. Right? Because ordinary people had got sick and tired of being lectured by these multi-millionaire, nothing wrong with that, these liberal elite entertainers telling them how to vote and how to recycle, when everyone knew they were getting free jet rides to Pedo Island. So it really hit the zeitgeist. But it was always the same deal. Whenever they said, do you want to host? I said, yeah, I'll host. I said, but I'm going to write all my own jokes, which is unheard of apparently. I said, I'm going to write all my own jokes and I'm not going to rehearse, so you can't hear the jokes beforehand, you can't cancel any. And they let me do that. I did have to show a lawyer the jokes about an hour before to make sure I hadn't broken any laws, and I never had, because I know the law. Sometimes the lawyer would go, are you sure you want to say that? Right? And I go, is it legal? They go, yep, technically. I go, let's do it. Right? I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes. That says something about them, to be fair, right? So, anyway, thank you. This last time, they said, oh, you've got to see the lawyer the day before now. I went, okay, great. So I was driven to the Beverly Hills Centre, and they're all setting up, right? And the photos of the A-listers are all in their chairs. I go, oh, there's Brad, there's Leo, there's Bob, oh, this one. And this big guard showed me to this room, and he opened the door, and he shut it behind me, and I looked, and there were suddenly 10 lawyers in suits. It was usually like this middle-aged woman in a jumper, right? And I thought, what the fuck's happened? I think, oh, is it because it's my last time and they're just making sure I don't say anything? Right? And they were there, and I went, hi. They went, hi. I said, should I do the monologue? They went, please. Tough crowd. Right? So I had the monologue, right, and I was sort of going through. It was like 7 or 8 minutes long. So I was doing the jokes, and after each joke, I sort of looked up, and they were sort of going, making notes like that. A couple of the younger ones were going like that, right? And I got to the end, and I went, that's it. And they went, good. I went, oh, great. I went, yeah. And then the head lawyer, he was about 60 years old, he had like white hair. He went, oh, yes, there was one thing. Now, I did this joke, I don't know if you remember. It went, the world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And it goes on, at one point I go, but Dame Judi Dench said it was the role she was born to play, because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her back leg, and licking her own minge. Right? So, this lawyer went, he said, this is all true, by the way. He went, when you say James Corden is a fat pussy, that's just referring to his role in Cats, right? I went, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nah. And he went, okay, great. I thought, this is easy. I wanted to go, call yourself a lawyer, right? And that was it. And I went, have a great show. And I left. And as I was leaving, I saw one of the other lawyers lean in and show this head lawyer his iPhone. And the head lawyer went, oh, yeah. He went, oh, sorry, Ricky, can you come back a minute? Right, so I'm there. I went, yeah. So he had the phone there. They'd looked up the word minge. I thought I'd gotten away with it, right? So it's now like I'm getting told off. And the head lawyer said, now it says here that the word minge is a derogatory term for female genitalia. I went, well, yeah, it's a slang word for vagina in England. You don't even use it here, do you? He went, no, we don't, but we go around the world, and with due diligence, now we know it's derogatory, we'll have to bleep that word live. I went, don't bleep the word, like, because people at home won't know what I've said. It'll ruin the... I said, it's literally the punchline. He said, if it's derogatory, I have to... I said, well, what word could I use that you wouldn't bleep? And he went, well, you could say vagina. I went, I'm not saying vagina, right? Nothing funny about it. It's so clinical. I was thinking, Judi Dench at home going, why is he talking about my actual vagina, right? I said, minge isn't like that. It's like, it's not so specific, because vagina's so... Where's your vagina? There, right? Where's your minge? There. It's like... Then one of the younger lawyers went, what about box? I went, I'm not fucking saying box, mate, right? So much for licking your own box. Right? I said, minge is perfect. I said, people won't know what... If they're American, they won't know what... I said, it's not offensive. It's like... I said, kids use the word in England. Right? They weren't having it. So I said, what about flange? right? So they looked up the word flange, right? And he went, well, that'd just be confusing, because in America, a flange is a part of a sink unit. I went, oh, well, I said, please let me say minge and don't bleep it. I was really rooting for minge, right? It was like 12 Angry Men. I go, no one's leaving till I can say minge, right? And after about 10 minutes, I wore them down. Whatever, said, oh, that won't work. So I was going, please. I said, I'll write them. You won't get any complaints and all this sort of. And eventually, the head lawyer went, okay, you can say minge. I went, and you won't bleep it. He went, no, we won't bleep it. I went, you promise? He went, yes. And I left. I knew they would. And they fucking did, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed.